Europe is still on a holiday that started last Friday. That's why until the beginning of the US trade there is no sense to wait for a rise in the market activity. What's more, the situation is unlikely to change even with the opening of the American trading session. The US Labor Department report was issued when both the United States and the European Union were on a holiday. It seems that currencies should change according to the published data, although the figures were slightly below the forecast. They cannot be called weak. The fact is that the unemployment rate remained unchanged, whereas the non-farm sector added more than 200,000 new jobs. This is enough to support the labor market stability. That's why quite positive data, which is slightly below the forecast, will hardly cause any changes in the currency market. On the trading chart, we see that the euro has been sliding from the psychological level of 1.10 for the fourth day in a row. As a result, the upward cycle slackened but did not finish. To resume gaining in value, the euro should exceed the level of 1.0950. In the event of this, the currency may break the control level of 1.10. In the case of downward scenario, the bounce may turn into a full-scale correction, which may lead to the drop to 1.08. However, even in this case, the midterm uptrend will remain in force. The pound-dollar pair is also falling from the resistance level of 1.25. Thus, the pound sterling has already lost about 0.8%, which is about 110 pips. Nevertheless, the upward trend remains intact, which is proved by the fact that the price has recently reached a new local high of the mid-term uptrend. It's quite possible that the existing decline is a part of a change in the market sentiment that may spur a new wave of rises. However, some technical conditions should be met to allow the pair to gain in value. First of all, the current bounce should finish, while the area of 1.2380 and 1.24 should act as a support. If the price returns to the level of 1.25, thus boosting the volume of long positions, traders will get one more signal of a possible increase. The alternative scenario will become possible in case of a downward correction to the level of 1.23. For now, we keep monitoring the financial market situation. Subscribe to our channel and see you in several hours. We will take a close look at the US trading session.